2, 3, 4, and 5.
Pietri versus the not-so-free world, and I have some news. I'll be at the Canamania Expo in Augusta, Maine on April the 14th and 15th. I have 3 booths, and we'll have O'Keefe, Budfly, Origin Organics, Kogo's cannabis formula nutrients, and Bill Carrington, the tissue culture expert. He's a botanist. We'll have 2 botanists and 2 botanists and a scientist on board there that are going to be talking about breeding and nutrients and tissue culturing. And we're going to be giving away a lot of free gifts, including a 350-gram O'Keefe tumbler, a stainless steel model, a $500 retail, lifetime warranty from O'Keefe. Very nice of them for them to donate 1 piece for us to give away. And then we're going to be doing giving away these little weed whackers for trimmers. It fits into a Dremel. It's like a little mini weed whacker. And basically, you turn it on, and you trim your bush. It's quite a handy tool, and it does speed up the process somewhat, and it should be in all trimmers repertoire, no doubt. So I'll be giving away these little weed whackers for people to try as long as they last. There'll be a free sampling. There are 3 smoking rooms for patients, and in the smoking rooms you'll be able to sample Origin Organics. And so we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to give a class. I'm going to give a talk about my new book. I'm going to give a 12-in-1 class. Carrington is going to give a tissue culturing class. The botanists are going to give a breeding class. So it should be quite educational. From there, on the 16th, we fly to Denver, and on the 20th, we put on a Root Hub concert. Root Hub is from Hawaii, and he's really good. We're going to play some of his music. And before the concert, we're going to have a VIP party introducing Origin Organics, where there'll be a sampling for all the dispensary owners and cannabis industry VIP that will be at the special party. And then the concert. And we're going to be working with the Marley family and putting on concerts, reggae concerts across the country this summer. I don't know what the bookings are yet, but there's going to be one in Colorado, there's one in California, there may be one in Rogue River and Oregon as well, as plus these smaller 500, 600 venue concerts, more intimate. And, okay. I'm working on my book feverishly to have it ready by the fall. I'm getting a lot of support. A lot of people are coming out of the woods and sitting down with me. I got to talk to Neville Schoonmaker. He's agreed to help me write my book and to help make sure that everything is correct in my book. And so it was really nice finally getting to talk to him. But, you know, this is 12-in-1. This is a first-year college horticulture book. It's called Greenhouse Operation and Management. And in this book, there's a section on photoperiodism, photoperiodic control. And it's about a 7-page chapter. This has been completely left out of grow books. You know, this type of information would have cut the price of production of cannabis by growers. They would have saved 50 to 75% in electric power consumption. At the same time, they would have increase their production 25 to 35%, because the added downtime for the plant makes the plant blow out and grow bigger like a bush. And so this photoperiodic control 12-in-1 technique has made every grow book ever written in the cannabis industry wrong. They all say that cannabis needs 14 hours of light to stay in veg. No, it doesn't. 12-in-1 is 13, and I've done photoperiodic control where I've controlled the plant and kept it in veg using a strobe light and using only 4 hours of light, but stretching it out over a photo period. Because as long as the PFR quality, the photochrome level of the plant does not diminish, the plant stay in veg. So what 12-in-1 does is this very simple technique. You put it on 12 hours on, and then 5.5 off, 1 hour on, 5.5 off. The 1 hour on in the middle is enough so that the photochrome level does not diminish enough for the plant to go into flower. So it stays in veg, and it gets a 5-hour rest that it wouldn't have gotten under your light. And it grows wider and bigger, and you get more production, 25 to 35%, as well as a quicker turnaround time in veg and in flower. And so you also can add a turn on doing this. With hydro, it's amazing the results that you get when you're doing a photoperiodic 12-in-1 technique and using hydroponics. So this whole chapter was left out of books, and here it even finishes on page 420. It's almost like if they're mind fucking everybody, and you know what, they are. You know, why did they leave this kind of information out of grow books? Why are people still doing cloning when they should have advanced and everybody should be doing tissue culturing? Because reality is that the only medical quality clone is a clone that's been tissue cultured. Because a tissue culturing rejuvenates the clone back to its original state, and you can remove any funguses, any diseases that plant may have. It doesn't go on from there. When you're working with clones, whatever disease that mother has, whether it has any or not, it goes along with the clone. Well, here you're getting a pure, almost like a virgin clone, back to its original state. Why wasn't this taught? Well, one, if they would have taught you tissue culturing, it would have interfered with their seed market. You would have never needed seeds. And the thing about tissue culturing is that you can keep in a Pietri dish a library of your strain and keep it going forever. Not only that, you only need a calyx or a leaf, and from that one leaf you can create 1 million clones. You know, so this kind of information wasn't kept for you because they're thinking about their profit margin instead of them thinking about how to make it more expensive, less expensive for you, how to improve your growing, how to conserve, be more green and yet get more production. All these things are left out. Why? Well, we all wondered why High Times was the only one that remained unscathed during Operation Green Merchant. The reason being is that they promoted cockamamie light schedules, right, that made the status quo $4 billion alone a year, right, in electricity that was needlessly used. If they would have learned this, they wouldn't have needed to pay $4 million. Growers would have saved $4 billion. At the same time, they lit you up like a Christmas tree for law enforcement, you know? And 18.6 makes no sense because you can't replicate it outdoors. You need 2 suns. You know, I had some young kids say, oh man, we have so much light, the only thing good about indoors is that you can really control the environment. But if you have a greenhouse that's under photoperiodic control, you have the best of both worlds. And I wrote, this was my remark to him, you know, it's true, you can replicate a greenhouse. You can replicate an ecosystem. You know, they do it in the zoos, you know. They replicate Antarctica and they put polar bears there. It costs millions of dollars, it's very costly. So I imagine that you could replicate the Hawaiian ecosystem in your basement, right, or in a big room, right? But it would be very costly, and the price of production would probably be about $20,000 an ounce. So, you know, my advice to growers and stoners out there is to really get And stop listening to the idiots that have been lying to you for 25 years. Get yourself some good information. Throw some science in there. You know, if the agribusiness, if the flower industry went by the grow books of Rosenthal and Cervantes, you know, a hothouse tomato would cost you $100 to produce. Your Mother's Day bouquet would cost you $1,200. Wake up, people! And this is something that's taught in college. Why they didn't teach growers here is because they don't make any money if they teach you this. You know, they're more concerned about their seed business and selling you seeds for 20 bucks a seed. You know, and another thing I'd like to talk about is the varieties that you have here. It's all the same mix, a different mix, same stuff. I mean, when you look at the graphs that I'm going to be showing at this talk I'm giving in Maine, you can see what a small gene pool the American cannabis scene and the cannabis scene here in the States really is. You know, and I'm glad I'm not on it. Anyway, this is Joe Pietri versus the Not So Free World, reading Paul V. Nelson's Greenhouse Operation and Management. Hoping you're enjoying Super Bowl Sunday. Go Giants!